The line was long. The stares were louder. Rachel's hands trembled as she slid her card declined. Her daughter looked up at her, confused, holding a box of cereal. She tried another card, same result. Whispers behind her. The cashier avoided eye contact. And just when she reached for the cart to return everything, a soft voice said, "It's okay. I've got this." Rachel turned and a stranger was already paying. She didn't ask for a name, didn't expect anything in return. But what she didn't know was that the cameras had been rolling the entire time. Rachel's face burned with shame. The whispers from the line felt like knives. 8-year-old Sophie clutched her mother's jacket, sensing something was wrong but not understanding what. The stranger, a woman in her 30s with kind eyes, stepped forward without hesitation. "You don't have to," Rachel began, voice cracking. "I know," the woman said gently, "but I want to." The cashier, a teenager who'd been frozen in awkwardness, looked relieved as the woman's card went through. $47.32. Not a fortune, but everything to Rachel in that moment. As the receipt printed, the woman leaned closer to Rachel. "I've been exactly where you are," she whispered. 3 years ago, different store, same feeling. Someone helped me then. Now it's my turn." Rachel's throat tightened. She managed a shaky "thank you" as tears threatened to spill. The woman, Emily, though Rachel wouldn't learn her name until later, simply nodded and gathered her own bags. "You're stronger than you know," she said, squeezing Rachel's shoulder. "This doesn't define you." As Emily walked toward the exit, Rachel noticed something she'd missed before. Emily's own cart had contained mostly generic brands and marked down items. This wasn't charity from abundance. This was sacrifice from someone who understood. In the parking lot, Emily loaded her groceries into a dented Honda Civic when footsteps approached. A young man in a rumpled jacket held a small camera, looking nervous. "Excuse me," he said. "I'm Jake, from the local community college. We're doing a documentary project about everyday kindness. We filmed what just happened." Emily's stomach dropped. She'd spent years trying to stay invisible, and now this. "I didn't know anyone was watching," she said, keys frozen in her hand. Jake rushed to explain. His film class had been stationed in public places for weeks, documenting random acts of kindness. Most days, they captured nothing. Today was different. "What you did in there," Jake said, "that was real. No performance, no social media setup, just one person helping another." Emily looked back toward the store, where Rachel and Sophie were just emerging. Sophie skipping now that the tension had lifted. She needed help. Anyone would have done the same. "But they didn't," Jake said quietly. 30 people in that line. You were the only one who stepped up." Emily considered this. She thought about 3 years ago, when she'd stood in Rachel's exact position at a different store, counting out coupons and praying her card would work. A stranger had covered her shortfall, then $10 that felt like 100. "If you use this," Emily said finally, "don't make it about me. Make it about her, about how quickly things can change for anyone." Jake nodded, understanding something deeper than he'd expected from a class assignment. That night, Rachel sat in her small apartment. Sophie was asleep, finally full, after days of rationed meals. The eviction notice still sat on the counter, but for the first time in weeks, Rachel felt something other than despair. She opened her phone and created a post. "To the woman at Fletcher's Market who paid for our groceries today, I don't know your name, but you saved us. Not just from hunger, but from feeling completely alone. If you're out there, please know you gave my daughter hope when I had none left to give." The post went live at 11:47 p.m. By morning, it had been shared 3,000 times. Comments flooded in. "Been there. You're not alone. Single mom here too. Some days it's minute by minute. Who was this woman? We need more people like her." This made me cry. Restoring faith in humanity. Across town, Jake wrestled with his footage. The interaction was powerful, but raw. No dramatic music or clever editing could improve what was already perfect in its simplicity. He uploaded it with minimal description. "Kindness at Fletcher's Market. Sometimes the smallest acts have the biggest impact." The video began making rounds. Local news picked it up. Then regional outlets. The story resonated because it felt authentic. No staged charity, no corporate sponsorship, just human decency in a grocery store. Meanwhile, Emily remained unaware of the growing attention. She worked her shift at the veterinary clinic, went home to her own modest apartment, and tried not to think about her dwindling savings account that was now $47 lighter. The phone call came on Wednesday morning. Fletcher's Market Regional Manager, Patricia Coleman, had seen both the post and the video. "Rachel?" The voice was professional but warm. "This is about what happened in our store Monday. First, I want to apologize that you experienced any embarrassment. Second, I'd like to offer you an interview for a position with us." Rachel nearly dropped the phone. She had applied to dozens of places with no response. "We've been looking for someone with your background in customer service," Patricia continued. "Part-time to start, with benefits after 90 days, if you're interested." Rachel was more than interested. She was desperate. But this felt different, like opportunity rather than charity. The interview went well. Patricia had read Rachel's online post and understood her situation without making her feel diminished by it. "Sometimes the best employees are those who understand what our customers are going through," Patricia said. "You'd be surprised how many people struggle to make ends meet. They need someone who gets it." Rachel started the following Monday. Meanwhile, Emily's quiet life began to shift. Local reporters had identified her through the store's cooperation. Interview requests poured in. A regional television station wanted to feature her story. A national morning show reached out. Emily declined them all. When pressed by a persistent journalist, she gave one statement: "Kindness shouldn't be performed for applause. That woman needed help, and I could provide it. If the story inspires others to help when they can, then I'm glad. But I'm not the hero here. Anyone facing hardship and finding the strength to keep going, they're the heroes." 3 months later, Rachel's life had stabilized. The job at Fletcher's Market came with steady hours, health insurance, and coworkers who'd become friends. Sophie was thriving in school, no longer worried about whether there would be dinner. They'd moved to a better apartment, 2 bedrooms, reliable heat, a kitchen table where Sophie could do homework. The eviction notice was a distant memory, replaced by the first lease Rachel had signed in her own name in years. On a busy Friday evening, Rachel was working Register 3 when she noticed him, a man in his 20s, probably a college student, nervously approaching her line. His cart contained basics: bread, peanut butter, instant noodles, generic cereal. She recognized the careful calculations of someone stretching every dollar. His card declined. He tried again. Declined. Rachel watched his face cycle through the emotions she knew too well: confusion, embarrassment, panic. He began removing items, trying to decide what he could live without. "Sir," Rachel said quietly, glancing around to ensure no one else could hear. She pulled out her own card. "Let me take care of this." "No, I can't," he started. "You're not taking anything from me," she said, processing the payment. "Someone helped me once. Now I'm helping you. That's how it works." He stared at her, overwhelmed. "I'll pay you back. I get paid next week." "Pay it forward instead," Rachel said, handing him his bags. "When you can, help someone else. That's all I ask." As he walked away, Rachel felt something she hadn't expected: not satisfaction or pride, but completion, like a circle finally closing. 6 months after that first day at Fletcher's Market, Emily was grocery shopping when she heard a familiar voice over the store's intercom. "Attention shoppers, we're proud to announce that our employee Rachel Martinez has been promoted to assistant manager. Rachel started with us 6 months ago and has exemplified the kind of caring customer service that makes Fletcher's Market special." Emily smiled, remembering the woman from that day in checkout line 4. She wondered if this was the same Rachel, then decided it didn't matter. Good things were happening to someone who deserved them. As Emily checked out, her cashier was friendly and efficient. The name tag read, "Rachel." "Thank you for shopping with us," Rachel said, handing over the receipt. "Have a wonderful day." Emily paused, studying Rachel's face. Something familiar, but she couldn't place it. "You too," Emily said, And congratulations on your promotion. Rachel looked up, puzzled. How did you? Then recognition dawned. Oh my God, it's you. The line behind Emily was growing, but neither woman moved. You changed my life, Rachel whispered. You changed your own life, Emily replied. I just helped with groceries. They stood there for a moment, two women who'd shared an unexpected connection months ago, now seeing how far they'd both traveled. I help people now too, Rachel said quietly. When I can, like you showed me. Emily smiled. That's exactly right. That's how it's supposed to work. A year later, Rachel was stocking shelves when she overheard two customers talking. Did you see that video going around again, the grocery store one? Yeah, makes you think. Wonder whatever happened to those people. Rachel smiled to herself and kept working. She knew exactly what had happened. The college student she'd helped that Friday night had gotten a job and moved out of his cramped studio. The single mother from last month had landed an interview after Rachel's manager put in a word. Small things. Real things. Emily still shopped there occasionally. They'd nod at each other, sometimes exchanged pleasantries, but never discussed that day. There was nothing left to say. The video still circulated online, but the comments had changed. Less about finding the mystery woman, and more people sharing their own stories of helping or being helped. Rachel had learned something important. Kindness wasn't a story with an ending. It was just people choosing to help when they could. No cameras needed. Improve.